Good night, guys. How are you guys doing? I'm here. This is Scott from Landscapes by Acme. This is Landscaping the Point, and we got JC over here. Johnson, how are you, sir? How's it going, buddy? I don't. You're muted, sir. There we go. How you doing, Jensen?
Doing good, doing good. Another live stream. Let's bang it out. I love
That's
it.
right.
It's awesome.
That's right. So it's summertime now. It's now 6 months in. We are at the halfway point. How is everything going for you this point this year? Let's go with that.
It
That's a
almost
good one
kind
to
of,
start with.
yeah, it almost kind of still feels like it's just started because the weather that we've been having has been strange. Yeah, no, it's crazy to think that we're already in July, coming up on July so far, and it just doesn't really seem like the summer season has already started. But work's there, lawns are growing. Things are going good, man. Things are going good. I can't really complain.
Yeah, that's good. So you okay? So do you have goals every year on what to do and where to get at for the year, business wise?
It's kind of constant. I wouldn't say that I'm always trying to look to grow bigger, or anything like that. I like to
Right.
be kind of steady with what I have. Be consistent for me. Obviously, it being a part time thing for me. It would be cool to kind of be able to have more time to focus on it to grow things, but
Mm-hmm.
my attention is trying to balance a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects. So, um, if I had time to devote more towards it to kind of get it to a better point, I would. It's still possible, but I'm just trying to kind of spread an even balance with everything that I have going on in life. So I can't complain though. Things are good, man.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I mean, yeah, I'm always kind of. I know we're always kind of trying to get a little bit bigger, but we're trying to get bigger in certain things. We're trying to go more landscaping than we are mowing, so it's kind of like uh, a plus. But we dropped a bunch this beginning of this year, and we picked up a bunch at the beginning of the year. So it kind of, from what we dropped, we picked it right back up, but we picked it closer. So I mean, we are now more closer in one spot instead of we were spread out. So I'm looking more to drop more next year and more my outer stuff and kind of get closer. So that'd be awesome to be more closer. And we actually just picked up two new accounts this week, actually, both in actually in the same neighborhood, actually. So it was kind of nice to be in a spot we're already in and just pick up new people that are moving into the neighborhood. So it's awesome that way. So
Hey,
it's
you know, I noticed that too. A lot of companies like yourself and others that have been in the business for a long, long time or for a little while, it seems like there's a lot. I've seen a trend in a lot of movement moving forward from the mowings and that, and thus like hardscapes or landscaping, snow removal, and kind of slowly stepping away from the lawn mowing. But that also kind of opens up opportunities for those people who are starting businesses or doing part-time work like myself, or doing thinking about starting a business. Like landscaping is an easy business to get into. There is a way you could go about it the right way. You could also go about it the wrong way if you don't line your ducks in order and everything like that. But for those people that maybe are just thinking about, like, maybe they're fans of the industry, they're thinking about, maybe they work for a company and they're thinking about starting their own, like, the opportunities are always going to be there for when it comes to at least the landscaping or the mowing side of things. So it's, just, if you ever have any hesitations or thoughts or doubts, just, just do it, man. And
oh yeah.
you know
It's one of I think one of those things people are always shy to do, and we have our next host,
ah
Josh. What's going on, Josh?
now
We
the
are just
party
sitting here talking.
started.
We are just talking about how everything's going this year and how we like to go about it.
And as
He's
quickly as he
frozen.
came, quickly he's gone.
Yep, yep. He left us, guys. He's frozen in time. But yeah, it's you gotta try it if you want, or you want to do it. It's always good to
Yeah,
just get out there and try it and do it.
yeah,
Um, I think it's one of those things that you when you start a business, you kind of are always wondering what's going to go on and all that. So Josh, are you going to join us this time, or are you still freezing?
I got a bad connection.
Yeah, because you're out in the middle of nowhere. So what's going on, buddy? You're still back connected. I know it is.
I got a shitty connection. You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, you sound like
you're in space.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
So how's space up there? Yeah, you want me to beam you up?
He's up to something.
Yeah,
he's up to something. That smile on his face. He's up to something.
Yeah, he's probably lurking behind your house or something.
Yeah,
He's gonna show up at your door,
yeah,
knocking on the door or something.
I almost wore that hat too. That hat that he has on, I almost wore the exact same one. Glad I didn't.
Yeah, here he goes again. Here we're gonna try this again. Are you now gonna come back on, or are you just jumping on and off today? Yeah, see, he's freezing up.
He's up to something. He's up to something. I don't know what it is, but
if you wouldn't have cut the cable line in your area, you would have internet service, sir.
Oh, it's all good. I think eventually we'll get now he's pointing. Oh, okay.
Now he's going to show us some landscaping. Yes, there we go. Let's see some fresh landscaping here. Nice. Nice work. Oh, and he just dropped us. This is the fun stuff about live, guys.
When he comes back on, Scott, when he comes back on, ask him who he hired to do that.
Yeah. What guy was that? What company was that?
Yeah.
Here we go. What has he got? He's got a picture of a porch. Okay.
This is like a scavenger hunt right now. Like,
okay. Everybody's hopefully watching. So this is the fun part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you get excited when you want to start a business, and gets frightful sometimes that you're always kind of like, what am I going to do? How's it going to be the next couple of days? Or years even sometimes, because you don't know where your customers are going to come from and your base of customers are going to come from. It's always, I know it probably was hard for you for the first couple of years, and I know it was for me. So you tried to figure your mic out, aren't you?
No. Sorry, I have this stupid echo feature on my. Let me put it on real quick. I don't know if it echoes when I talk now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that sorry about that. I want to make sure that it was off. So I'm trying to find where the button is.
Yeah, sure you are. You're just trying to turn it off.
We're just off today with this whole thing, but it's all good.
It's a weird day.
Yeah.
It's definitely a weird day. How are you guys doing out there on YouTube and Facebook? We are live. This is, us talking and just chit-chatting. So we are just I know the first couple of years I was always worried where I was going to get some of the customers. How did you market your customers? Did you go door to door? Did you put an ad out? How did you get most of your customers?
Yeah, when I first started, man, I was thinking 5 steps ahead before I even took that first step, and that was actually a mistake because I was anticipating stuff that I haven't even accomplished yet. Example of that, like I'm making like, I don't know, I needed to kind of like take that first step and then jump to the next phase of things. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but anyways, nonetheless, as far as getting customers, as far as marketing myself, it kind of just started through word of mouth. A lot of that word of mouth came up, and then I started doing door hangers, which I kind of really got into with details, information on there, and I was putting a lot of stuff on there. But I also at one point feared that I was going to bite off more than I could chew. I didn't end up doing that, which was a good thing. You also have to know your limitations. It doesn't mean that you can't have high goals or high expectations, but you have to understand what you're capable of doing at that very moment, at that very time, and then work towards increasing those goals. So a lot of it was word of mouth. And then when I had a few, 3 or 4 properties to start with, I was focusing on just making sure that I was doing a good job with those people. And then eventually that led to some other connections in which other people were being they were recommending people. They were recommending people that they knew in which I was getting other jobs. So not a lot of marketing that I had to do to get the customers that I wanted. Some of the door hangers that I've done were unsuccessful. I did at some point in time start to reach out to some realtors because I noticed that there was a lot of houses that were vacated and empty in my neighborhood, in my area. And the lawns were, just driving by and seeing them, were being overgrown and stuff like that. And, there were houses that were for foreclosures and there was no one occupied in there. There was nobody maintenance on the yard. So I'd actually call up some of these realtors just to make it a little easy for me to kind of pick and choose those houses that I wanted within my route. And I got lucky with a few of them. Some of them didn't last long because the houses ended up being sold. But and then the homeowners that moved in ended up doing things on their own or hiring somebody else that they wanted to do it for. But I had one for a little while that was kind of close down the street, which was nice. And it was cool because I almost was able to name my own price. They just wanted somebody to mow the lawn, so I'm like, they didn't have anybody. And
Right.
if I hadn't called, they probably wouldn't have had anybody to do it. But one of the realtors I called was like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'd definitely like to do it." And I probably should have named a bigger price for that property, but I was still being new and trying to learn the pricing and stuff like that. I just wanted to work and I just wanted to get a job and something consistent. So it kind of worked out. But the door flyers are good it depends on how much you're actually going to be putting out there, how much of an effort you're going to go to scope out these neighborhoods and scope out your route and pick the houses. And I tried to make it as easy as I could with my method. It was something that I just came up with. I don't know if it was an original idea or not, but I was putting like a little tear off card where they could mail it in. And, I put down the price of what I quote their properties to be, and what I do their mowings for. And, I had some people call me, but some of them were just like inquiring. So I didn't get too much success with the door hangers, but I got more success when it came to the word of mouth. For the customers and the clients that I've had.
Yeah, I think it's door hangers and postcards. We do a lot of postcards where we take them to the door or the mailboxes or send them, and it's your return on an investment on all that is sometimes like little to none. But if you can get that right customer, you're going to end up paying for that, advertising or whatever you're doing for that to make sure you get your money back on it. I mean, Josh, how do you do it, Josh? Do you market through postcards or did you start with that way or flyers or how did you start?
I can't even pay my cable bill. My internet connection is so messed up right now. My bad, guys. I don't know. Oh, God. I'm all discombobulated right now. I just walked in the house. My family's walking in the house. My dog's just shit. So I'm all mixed up. So what was the question?
Marketing. We were talking about marketing, and Jensen said about how he started with flyers and postcards, and it's more of like, how did you start? Did you start with flyers and postcards or any of that stuff? Door hangers.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
All right, there you go. I can't walk too far from my house. A lot of it was like the Facebook local groups. I got a lot of work off that and the word of mouth, and then we did kind of graduate to postcards, more like flyers you make off Vistaprint. So, but more of anything, the Facebook groups helped me. The local Facebook groups helped me the most, like the yard sale type groups.
Okay, so you went to Facebook groups. That is a big way of doing it too.
I gotta pick the shit up.
I know there's a whole bunch of different things. Yeah, you just pick it up. Make sure don't leave it there, please. Put it in the landscape bed, okay?
Yeah, pick it up because the landscaper is going to charge you an extra fee for all that landscaping they did at your house.
Yeah. See, this is what we do on live. We watch people do other work. See, maybe that's what we should do, and critique it.
$20 to pick up this bag right here. Hey, go turn it off for me, please.
Alex Carey says he put his business card on a placemat at a local restaurant. Have any of you guys ever done that?
I haven't done that, but I've seen that. That's actually not a bad idea, especially if it's a good breakfast spot where people are going. Yeah. Alex,
I did
what's going
Yellow
on?
Pages a long time ago. I mean, that's how old I am. I mean, you ever see the Yellow Book?
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
phone
The
book, the
9X
Yellow
ones.
Pages. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that. I did that for a couple of years, and that was like back then. That was like $400 or $500 a year. So I mean, now it's probably like $10,000. Who knows? I mean, even if you get a book, if you have them.
Yeah.
So
Hey, why don't we send Alex the link to see if he'll come on to the podcast here?
yeah,
There you go.
Alex, you want to join? We'll send you a link, buddy. So yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different things, and of advertising. What other ways did you guys advertise?
I did the Alex had the business cards in the restaurant. I put business cards in with my vendors. The whether it was like a seed vendor, site one, masonry vendor, that usually generated some work. When I was doing the maintenance, I would do. I'm trying to remember how I did it. I think it would go if you sent a referral and they signed up for a month's worth of mowing, you'd get a mow free or something like that, or you get like 10% off. That seemed to generate. It was almost like having one of those, I guess, indirect punch cards, where you refer some people, you do so many, and you get something free. But,
You guys ever put a yard sign down on a property that you've maintained and offer that customer, something for allowing you to put your yard side on their property, like a really awesome hardscape job that you've done that you kind of wanted to
absolutely,
let
yeah,
people
absolutely.
know. Yeah.
Even the maintenance though, like if I could have a customer that lived on a main drag, let me put just a regular yard sign up. I'd give them same thing, like a free mow or like 20% off a fall cleanup or something like that.
So if you got, what about like your hardscaping? I mean, you do a lot of hardscaping. Would you give them like 10% off, 20% off if you got to put their?
No. I put my sign out regardless. If I'm there, I'm putting it out. So if I don't
See,
put a
and
sign
that's where
out,
I think it comes into a point is like I do it with a lot of my landscaping jobs. Is I put a one out there, and so I think it's going to let people know that you're doing that job and that you did that job.
Remember though, it's not like I'm only at the house for 20 minutes cutting the lawn. I'm there for 2 days to 2 weeks. So my trucks are out there every single day for 2 weeks. They're in and out of the neighborhood. So people are seeing the signage there. That was one of the important things, was to make sure you put the name and you put the phone number in big bold letters. The one issue I had with the yard signs in the beginning is I would have people finally get a hold of me and say, hey, the phone number is a little bit too small for me to actually get while I'm waiting in traffic and get back to you. So that was the one thing, was on the trucks and the cars, the back of my pickup, my phone number's in big black bold letters that you can't miss it, standing on the sides.
You see that tactic done a lot when it comes to like roofing companies. Like you'll see like the roofers come up, set up, they'll put their little metal yard sign there, and it's there for maybe a couple days or a week after that job is done. I don't know what they do exactly when it comes to like their agreement with the homeowner. Maybe it's just something that just put on the lawn, and then they'll say, hey, well, come get that sign later on. I don't know. But if there's an incentive, if there's a discount or whatnot, but I would imagine that that's a big deal, because people see that, and it's like Josh said, a number's out there and someone's looking for something specific, they're going to gravitate to whatever they see, and they know that people are working within their neighborhood, especially. And then, hey, my neighbor got their roof on this guy, I'm going to call that guy too, because I need a roof as well.
Hey, look, like right here, front
end marketing. My walkway's done right there. And
some other guy did it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a sign going, oh, there he is.
What's up, Alex?
Can you guys see me or hear me?
Yes, we can.
Ricky's in the chat. What's up, Ricky?
What's up, Ricky?
See, I'm not the only one with a shitty internet.
Yeah, it's all right. It's normal. He's
just stuck there on that
stuck up.
I don't know, man.
Alex, you're pros too. I think it's you guys in that type of country area that you guys are at. Like, you guys don't have the
We're
best.
in the same country, motherfucker.
Oh,
We're in a different world than the Northeast.
yeah,
huh?
you guys are in a different world. I don't know what it
Oh,
is.
We don't have
Can you boot Ricky off the chat now?
we don't have cornfields to help us with
Can
our
I move
reception.
Ricky off the chat?
Yeah, he's a
I can
Lakers
remove
fan
him,
now.
you know, if we want. Go Lakers, yeah. Ricky, we're gonna have to cut you out. Alex, get your stuff together. We'll get you on here.
Pay your bill.
Yeah, pay the bill.
A word you guys are saying.
You got to put it in the mic, your mic in or something, man.
Whoa,
Or
careful where you
talk.
put it. Jesus Christ, Scott.
This is awesome.
Okay, so we're
We'll
gonna
get-
we're gonna
we'll
wait.
get Alex back. We'll get Alex back for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on here. We're gonna go this way. How about this? Then we can get Alex on there. Nope, he's not coming back. I don't know where he went. So, anyways, door to door. I mean, did you guys do door to door? I used to do door to door and knock on the doors for a year. I think it was a year or 2 years. Me and a couple guys went door to door, knocked on the door, try to get some information that way. Because I used to work for a company, and that's one of the things they used to do is go knock on the door and give them a card and say, hey, this is what we're charging. Can we help you with this? Or we seen this? And so I kind of did that for a year, and I got a lot of doors slammed in my face. I don't know about you guys. I mean, if you ever done that, and it's one of those things that it's hard to do. Ricky, you got to stop liking the Lakers, dude. I don't like the Lakers either, so we're good on that.
What about let me ask you this. I think Josh would like this. Community events. Like you have some type of community event where you go there and you participate or you donate something, and maybe like a little league baseball field where you have a sign set up or something like that, but just not so much just having a sign at a baseball field, for a park and sponsoring a team or something like that, but actually engaging within the community so that the community gets to know you, right? You're there at the event, you're networking in a sense with your community. People get to know what you do, and that way you exchange information, and you just participate with what's going on. I don't know if I would imagine that it's not necessarily a bad thing to do if you're making your name out there and you're getting to be known by people within your community.
What about a BNI? Josh, have you ever done a BNI?
I've chatted with them before. It's not. I network so much in my community as it is that I never really had the need for a BNI. I see the value in it. I really do. The commitment's a little much for me. During COVID, they were really trying to push it.
Right.
I think if you're active, like Ricky just said, he was coaching his kids' basketball team. I did that for 7 years. I coached girls middle school basketball. I was involved in all the school events and stuff. Always made sure I threw a shirt on or something. Very well known in my community, where we work. So I was definitely out there a lot. The parades, the ballet schools, we volunteered with all that stuff. So it worked. But BNI was never really my thing. But I know guys that have done really well with BNI.
Yeah, I mean, I did pretty good with it. I was in a small one for a while, and I still get business off of it. I was the only landscaper. There was a realtor, insurance lady, you name it. We had it. We had a lawyer, everything. So it was kind of like we all exchanged business with ourselves, and then pretty much, somebody asked, we pretty much got it that way. Pretty much, I still do business with the insurance lady. I actually do her place and her business, and then she sends out information for me, and then also the realtor. I do a lot of stuff with the realtor still, so he has a big group of different realtors in his group, and pretty much we're considered one of the landscapers in that group. So it's always a big thing to come back if you get into it, because it can give you some good money back, for what you pay for it in a yearly fees, pretty much.
What about you, Alex?
I don't really spend too much on the advertising. A lot of what I get came from a couple of big realtors, and then I started doing a good job on the properties that they gave me, and it just kept rolling. And really the only advertising that I do was the placemat, business cards, and then recently we just did the Patriot schedule with our logo on a magnet that's shaped as a football. And I've been giving them out to customers. Like, they just like, hey, you guys like the Patriots? Oh, all right, here you go. They're like, oh, that's awesome. So now it's like something like that is kind of what's given us a lot of our work. Just word of mouth, doing a good job. A couple of pictures here and there that get posted, but other than that, I'm not really tracking down the work. It's kind of coming to me.
Right. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Josh, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I'm excited because for once the Northeast guys are not the minority here.
Yeah, I know. You got there's too many of you guys all on here.
There was a little plop with Alex's accent. I'm like, fuck you, Southern
Yeah,
guys.
you're not the only one now. Yeah.
We got Paul Kamara on there. Oh my god.
It's a predominantly hillbilly like infested industry. So when I see this, it hits close to the heart.
I got to start accentuating my accent a little more.
Yeah, you do.
Hillbilly Portuguese.
Yeah.
Paul Kamara's in the chat. What's up, Paul?
Yes, he is.
Uncle
What's going on, Paul? So, I think that's a good idea with the football magnets. I don't know if I would go with Patriots though. That's my problem.
Oh, come on.
You
Definitely
want business, don't you?
You know,
But he's got the Cleveland Browns. Do you blame him? Like, come on.
I don't follow the Browns though. I'm not even that.
You're an
close.
Irish fan.
Yeah,
Your
I
team's
mean, you know, it wouldn't work for me. I mean, I turn away customers that are New England fans. So
What's
I
the
mean,
most redneck team in NFL?
Oh, the most redneck team. I'd say Tennessee Titans.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Cowboys. Yeah,
Cowboys,
Ricky's over there
Texans,
crying because of it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice. I was gonna rag on him with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know. You want to say something. I know you do. Oh, but yeah, I mean, there's different ways of doing it. I mean, I think, you know, there's tons of ways to market and get your name out there. I think the best one and the freest one that you can have is your name on your truck, your name and your number on your truck, your equipment. We've been putting stickers on a lot of our equipment to have our name and number on it, so that way people can see it. Shirts. I mean, I've definitely sponsored a baseball team for a couple years, and it was pretty much having a name on the shirt. I mean, even if I'm not getting a call, people know who I am. I mean, that's one of the plus you're benefiting by, you know, supporting the youth, you know, grow up and stuff. So that's always a good thing to do.
I wonder if anybody's ever tried the you know, like when you watch YouTube videos and it's basically a commercial that you'd get on TV. If anyone, number one, how expensive is it to do that? Number two, like I don't know if anybody who's done that, if it'd be successful or not. Like you know, sometimes you can't skip ads, and you could get local ads broadcast on whatever. 20 grand, really? Yeah,
20 grand, and it's a package usually through like Comcast or Verizon. What you do is you go through like a production company, and they sell you that whole ad space. So like I did one with the company we worked for. It was $20,000, and we got second period of the Bruins games, every Bruins home games. YouTube, you couldn't skip the ad, and like selected prime nights for Comcast. And the only feedback that company got was that there were no black people in the commercial. $20,000. That's all they got for feedback. No work, no nothing.
Wow.
It was that one comment. So it was a complete waste of money. I don't believe in stuff like. Sorry. I think that unless you're like a major entity, like I don't believe that's like for what we do, it's not worth it. Like what Alex is saying, like the work's coming to him, like word of mouth is probably your strongest marketing. Like do a good job, like have some integrity in your work, like pride in your work, and people like word of mouth travels so fast in this industry. I mean, dude, I didn't do any advertising in the beginning, and I was always booked out. Like right now, the past 3 years, a lot of us have been spoiled because COVID times. The work was just, you couldn't stop it coming in. It was prime money. Now we're getting back to pre-COVID times. Things are starting to slow down a little bit, so you might have to put some market in. But what we're getting right now is back to the old word of mouth, where like old people come through. Hey, so and so, you did their patio, you did their walkway. They're calling. Like I just did my walkway a few weeks ago. I mean, I'm getting beeps and people asking for numbers just from that.
So do you run out and give them your number?
So depends on who it is. Like
you just beep it, and the people beep, and you just stand there and wave at them while you're standing out there.
I'm weird, yeah. Might not be beeping at me, dude. Like I'm an oddball. I like making people uncomfortable. So no matter what the scenario, dude, I'll do it.
I was telling Jensen I had picked up a couple in the neighborhood we work at, and just because they see us. I mean, a lot of people see you in that neighborhood, and you're going to pick up more work if you're in that neighborhood longer. One of the neighborhood we're in today, literally, I mean, we do the outside and all the about 10 houses, and we picked up 2 in the same neighborhood already this week. So I mean, it was nice to be able to have more customers in that same area to where we're stuck there for longer. So I mean, that helps out being there. And a lot of times it's hard. I mean, our area, we're seeing a lot of people are calling landscapers and mowing companies for work, and they're not getting answers. They're not getting callbacks. They're not getting calls. So it's like whoever they find that will say yes, that's who they're going with. They're not messing around sometimes. So I think being seen and, like you said, doing your good quality work, that's what you're going to get the work from. So Jensen likes tons of work. He wants like 5 more customers.
I'm doing word of mouth right now. I'm putting some social media posts about this live stream right now. We got Alex on the live podcast, so excited to have this going on.
State
right now.
and local. Paul wants to know about, has any of you guys used state and local landscape associations to build your network for new work? I have not. I mean, I am a licensed applicator, and I am licensed in our area for nursery, because a landscaper in Ohio has to be licensed as a nursery. It's nursery dealer is what it is. So literally, it's because we can't pretty much buy plants and then resell them without that license. But there is companies in our area that do it, and pretty much you just got to cover your butt on that. So, but have any of you guys used that as a state or local? Alex, Josh, I think Josh he doesn't like the state and local landscape association.
I mean, no, not state or local. I mean, landscape architects, nurseries. We do installs for nurseries. Landscape architects, we work with a few on some of the development jobs. They're not my favorite to work with. Just if you ever worked with a landscape architect, you'd know why. Degree don't mean shit.
Yeah.
You can draw, but you can't build it.
They draw things and say it goes here, and then you start digging, and it's a hole for something else or electric line. And
I'm gonna send a text in the WhatsApp chat to you guys, all you guys, because you got to see the job that we got kicked off, and we just got brought back in to correct the work. The one thing, Paul, that I am interested in doing is SEMA, the Snow and Ice Management Association. I'd like to do some more research on that, but possibly get involved with their affiliations.
What about you, Alex?
I don't really do too much with like the associations, but like nurseries, a couple architects. There's a couple of tree services that like will bounce work to me, and I'll send work to them.
Can I ask one question, Alex? How many companies are in your area? Like 12? Are you one of 12?
12?
Yeah.
I like 1,200.
I mean, you live in a small area. There's got to be only 12 in that whole area of your state.
Within a mile from my shop, there's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 companies as big.
Is there enough work? Because literally, I mean, your state's probably only got like 100 houses, right?
No, there's so much work, and there's still so many landscape companies. Some are companies, some are fly by nights, but I mean, there's still, on the average day, if you go down one road, you'll probably see 5 to 10 landscape trucks.
Just to shut you up, I mean, you got Alex here and you got Paul in the comments. That's 2 from Rhode Island right there.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's not many more.
It's not like you got the only 2 in Rhode Island, man. I mean, you got 3 people from New England right now, man. They're all over the place, man.
I have another company that's literally a stone throws away. There's a stone wall separating his property and mine.
Wow.
And they're a huge nursery and landscape company. I know they're doing over 1,000 accounts a week that they're servicing. So
that's amazing.
Hey, so that brings up a point. So, like, I'm wondering this. So, Landscapes of America wrote down for residential accounts, not sure how employees or how many employees, I guess, you have, but I'm sorry, you need more than word of mouth. I mean, that could be dependent on your location as well, too. Like, exactly what we're talking about how many landscape companies or how big of an area or how close all those homes are. If you're in a place where it's more rural and maybe there's not a lot of resources, maybe you need more than word of mouth to get your clients. But sometimes, like in a busy area, you're going to get referrals. You're going to get people that are going to be reaching out to you looking for those services. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. You do have to have a target customer. We kind of look into different areas. We have some good areas that we do, and we have some that are, not so good of area, but our customers are customers that we want to have for us and that, we want to do work for. I mean, yeah, I have the one neighborhood, pretty much I have 2 neighborhoods back to back with houses and common areas. And, that is more of my target area because it's closer for me. It's less drive. But pretty much most of my other customers are literally probably 5-10 minutes away. So that's a good thing for me. And then it's also good for my shop because I'm literally 15 minutes away from a lot of my work. And I've cut down to where I used to be hours away almost sometimes. So literally to be able to be closer, it comes out in the best thing. Yeah, that's a good business too. Parking, sweeping, and also that. Yeah. I mean, we do some commercial accounts. We do the snow removal and the mowing and landscaping and stuff for that. So, I mean, it comes into a big handy on a bunch of stuff. How about this, guys? I talked to Alex yesterday about this. If a customer called you, one of your best customers, and asked for work, would you drop or would you reschedule work around for that customer? Josh is dumbfounded. He doesn't know what to think here.
No, I got people walking up the door distracting the hell out of me. Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
Or
Absolutely.
Scott, what if they threw a change order on that is adding 2 or 3 more days worth of work to the initial job?
I feel like if
it's,
or
are you banging it out then and there?
I would try to do it then and there. If it could be done then and there, and you can take the time to do it, do it. If you couldn't do it within that time frame and let's say you had something else scheduled, the next day, maybe you could say, hey, I'll put you on the list. I'll get you back, later this week or early next week and get you scheduled in just to make sure that it's getting done. I mean, that's something that I feel like if it's right, you're right there and you can do something real quick. And I try to do it for a lot of my customers. If, I'm there and they're like, oh, can you do my irrigation? If I have the time when I'm there, I'll turn on their irrigation system. I'll go through their sprinklers right then and there. If it's something that, I got to bring like equipment and I don't have the equipment with me, I'll say, well, I'll have to reschedule you to make sure I can get the equipment out here tomorrow or, the next day to make sure it gets done. So that's what my kind of thing is on it. So what about you, Josh? If you got a customer put a change order in and it takes 2 more days, would you do it?
Depends on the schedule, but more than likely, yeah. I mean, why not? If it's a good customer and they need some done, I take care of it. I mean, I've had to say no to things just because scheduling was too tight. But I mean, there's ways around it. Work a little later, work a little harder, figure it out. Real quick, I just want to go back. Landscapes of America residential accounts. Not sure how many employees you have, but I'm sorry, you need more than word of mouth. They disagree with you. I mean, even if you have 5-6 employees, if your work if you give quality work and it's out there, it's the same thing as advertising. I mean, in the same sense, Landscapes of America, right? You use that name, Landscapes of America. Landscapes America would be something you would Google, and you'd get word of mouth right through there. People getting confused with the name. I just think that word of mouth can go. But
No, I'm gonna go get a light.
Okay.
I just think, I mean, even when I did maintenance, I'm telling you, I mean, I did no more marketing than Facebook. Maybe a quick flyer here and then a business card, and it was lucrative. I didn't need to pay a ton of money for marketing, and I still don't. I mean, granted, I'm more of in a hardscape site work type of area now, but I mean, I disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean, when we market, like we marketed this year, this is the first time in 2 years or 3 years, I think we marketed. We did door to door, passing out postcards, but we literally, I mean, it was aimed at landscaping work. It's not aimed at our maintenance work. It's more landscaping, aerations, fertilizations than, anything else. And we're not trying to pick up the landscaping. Josh is, so, I mean, JC's getting a light together. I don't know why, but he's in a hurry to get a light. So,
I want
yeah,
to
I mean,
see
I
if
think
this works.
yeah, you got to get word of mouth is going to get you there if you want more, especially maintenance work. You're going to get word of mouth off the maintenance work than you are anything else.
If you want to blow up, yeah, you got to spend the money on marketing. But I mean, yeah, obviously you're going to have your target customer you want to go after. But I mean, I think even if you were to have 5 or 6 guys, you could get away with some word of mouth marketing.
Right.
Oh, that works good.
Yeah. Oh, Lawnscape says he has to disagree. Agree to disagree then. Okay. So it is what it is. I mean,
Everybody's
it's
got their
gonna
own
be-
opinion. I mean, mine's right,
Yeah.
but
yours is right. Okay. So how many guys does it take to do a yard? How about that, guys?
1.
Yeah. Maybe 2 if you're lucky, but I mean, it depends on the yard. I think even if you only, I actually just seen yesterday. This is we're in this neighborhood. Me and just one other guy. We do 5 houses in this neighborhood, and they had literally this company has 6 guys to do 1 yard, and they literally pull from your house to house doing 1 yard with 6 guys. Okay, it was 2 people on weed whip, 2 mowers going, and 1 on an edger. I don't see the whole point of that, really. I mean, that many guys on a yard unless you're at a big commercial property. And these were small yards. I feel like it was a waste of time to have 6 guys on 1 yard. So I know Josh would probably put about 6 guys on 1 yard to do a maintenance job.
for that, no. I mean, so going back to what Lawnscape said, I mean, your target. I guess your target client and my target clients weren't big yards. They were more like postage stamp yards that I could get in and out. Like I wasn't interested in like the 1 or 2 acre properties. I was going more like quarter acre, half acre, so I could be in and out. That wasn't my business model, was to go out and have these massive accounts. And yeah, some guys do them and they're beautiful. It just wasn't my business model. So I would probably be, 2 at the most, 3 if you were trying to haul ass and get things caught up.
Right. How many, Alex? How big is your crew, and how many? But you got a lot of houses, correct? Together?
Yeah, so it depends on like the days. Like our Wednesday list, for example, yesterday we have 11 houses that are like almost all right next to each other. There's like one house that's like had one landscaper for like 40 years. They won't switch. But all the other houses around there, they have us. So when it's houses like that and groupings like that, I'd rather have myself on a mower, one other guy on a mower, and then one guy on a weed whacker. and we start at the furthest house down and work our way up. So the guy on the weed whacker just takes the blower with them, blows down that house, and we just keep going until we meet back at the trailer. So, I mean, 3 is kind of like my ideal number, just because a lot of our accounts are all in the same neighborhoods. Like tonight, one of my guys wanted to work a little bit later, and I was doing cobblestones in one of the neighborhoods we have, and there's 5 houses in there. I said, well, it's up to you. You're the only one who wants to work later. There's 5 houses. If you want to go cut them, weed whack them, and blow them down yourself, that's fine. I'm finishing laying stone before the meeting. And he was happy as all hell. So, I mean, it can be done with one guy, but if you want to, like Josh was saying, you want to haul ass and get it done, for me, 3 is the ideal number for a maintenance crew. But then you look at a fall cleanup, I'd rather have 6 guys with me. Just
I think fall cleanup's a lot different.
Yeah, the workload is a lot increased.
Yeah, the more people you have, I mean, the more you can get done, especially when it comes to that, because you can have a crap load of guys on blowers, and one guy mowing behind you, or if you got a leaf pickup where you're leaf picking up, you got somebody can pick up the leaves while you're going at it. I mean, there's so many more people you can have on fall cleanups. Josh doesn't like fall cleanups; he gets too dirty.
I like fall cleanups, and I only do it by myself. But I do have fairly bigger properties, so it takes me a long time, and like we were talking about before starting off, my pricing was completely wrong. Until I figured it out. But also too, New England, you don't have a choice but to have a high-powered backpack leaf blower, and I started off with a very low-powered leaf blower, and
sounds like a sales pitch. I'm already selling a sales pitch here.
Oh, I know. It's very true. It's very true. I mean, I struggled. That's why I know firsthand working with
Ryobi, baby. Ryobi battery.
Yeah, my Ryobi days for sure. It's so it takes me all day, for one person to do that, and that's why I think it's beneficial for a bigger company to a job like that. That would take a long time. It's a big workload. Obviously, you're charging more. Getting you guys just to bang them out as efficiently as you can is in your best interest.
That's what we've been looking at is efficiency. Like, do we add more guys or do we purchase a piece of equipment? And sometimes the guys outweigh the equipment and the equipment outweighs the guys. So, like JC was saying, you kind of learn your numbers as you go and figure out what each asset's worth, or, are 3 guys better off doing this job than sending 1 guy on a machine.
Now, do you charge per person or do you charge an hourly rate?
Most of my houses are all on like a flat rate. So okay. I know Mike had said this before. For me, I already know how much money's coming in throughout the season. All I have to do is go out and execute the job and get paid. Anytime we take on a new account, that's when I can kind of say, it's going to be 4 guys at X amount per hour per guy, and it's going to take us 4 hours. And that's how I'll generate the price. But some of the houses, it's like, we're in there for 30 minutes, but we still got to get a minimum. But then one person's kind of paying for the next, and it all just adds up. So, like, when we do those 11 houses, it's just divided by the houses because they all have the same amount of trees, the same amount of leaves. The architect who designed them all the same. So it's all kind of like cut and dry. But other places, it's like you got to do an hourly rate.
What about you, Josh and JC? Do you guys charge by the hour or
by the hour with a minimum?
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Minimum rate.
I was flat rate, but it was built around an hourly rate. So, you can, after a while, you kind of have an idea of, if something's going to run you 4 or 6 hours, $400, $600. It just all depends on how many bodies you're going to put in. But at the end of the day, like, I think what Alex was saying too is like it kind of breaks even when you go through some of these yards. If you might lose something on a smaller house or gain something that you quote 6 hours and you're done in 2. So you make it up somewhere. But to answer the question, it's hourly, but I don't always tell customers when we do the cleanups. I still do cleanups because it's all labor, it's all money, it's all straight money. I love selling labor. So
Yeah, I mean, we used to have it straight priced. This year we changed it to hourly, and that includes however many guys we have on there. Um, but it's just because we have some older customers. 'Cause a lot of our customers have been around for 10 to 15 years, and the pricing that we had is just, I mean, we're spending more there time wise than we are making off of it. So it's like we wanted to change it up this year, and tell you the truth, nobody changed it. They stayed with it. So I mean, going hourly rate is the best for us this year. So what are we talking about? You love
Scott,
selling,
what
yeah.
about
We
for
know.
disposal though? Say like your hourly rate, and then you end up with an absolutely massive pile that's filling, 2 trucks with the leaf shredder. Are you charging a minimum per truck, or is that built into your hourly rate?
$250
Well,
minimum in the trucks for me.
yeah. See,
250
our area, the fall, we don't take leaves away.
Really?
Our area, our cities have big old vacuum trucks that come around and suck it all up. So we
That's
really
cool.
push everything out to the street as much as we can. So that's a plus for us. We have one city in our area too that in the spring that goes through but it's not till literally middle of April they come by and suck them up. So I mean, you can put it out there in the spring too. It just by the time we're already starting to mow by then, so it's kind of like pointless to have it out there in the spring. So we'll haul it away. We have a dump site that we dump that literally doesn't charge us, but literally, depending on the day, the old man will charge me free sometimes to $5 to $10 a 2 yards. So I mean, I'm not getting charged outrageous. It's a little bit out of the way, but sometimes we dump a lot at our shop. We have enough area in our shop that we kind of pushing up to use for compost and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good positive that way in the spring. But yeah, I mean, I think you should charge for dumping it if you're going to use that for dumping too.
Yeah, I don't have experience with the dumping on the trucks. Obviously, very, very small, very few customers that I have doing it on a part-time basis. But the clients that I do have, they have it. I just in their property because it's big enough yards within their wood lines and stuff. For the most part, is where I have it. Or they'll want to have their own little compost area, just kind of push things over there. The town that I did some other jobs in, similar thing with the city that would come by and clean it up on the streets. But that was something else too, because each street, each neighborhood had a different schedule when that truck would come by. So you would have to work, arrange your routes, arrange your jobs based on the scheduling of when those leaves are going to be collected. And obviously you don't want to go there after the fact and then start leaving leaves on the street where your customers are now going to be fined because they have those leaves there. So you got to learn what the collection times and dates are and everything like that, and kind of work it that way. But thankfully, like I said, I don't have many of those issues. Like Scott, I'm able to just kind of push those leaves on their own property and put them somewhere on the side of the wood line.
See, now we have one city in our area that switched it to where you couldn't put it in the street because it's dangerous to be in the street. So you have to put it between the sidewalk and the street and the grass little part. So literally it caused some problems because we had one place that had no sidewalk and it was on a cul-de-sac, and literally in the spring you could take away 10 trailer fulls. So literally he had a massive pile at the end of this cul-de-sac, and literally we had to make sure that the city was going to come out within 2 days afterwards to make sure everything got picked up, because otherwise literally he got fined for it. So it was kind of one of those ones that, kind of like you said, Jensen, that it was kind of like you had to make sure that you were right there at the right time. So it was like we had to coordinate with the city and say, okay, how is your schedule going? Like, when are you coming out? Because we don't want to be left with, leaves sitting there for them and having any issues. So it's it's a lot different in our area. I kind of like that the city picks it up, because I don't have to worry about it in the fall, dude. It's a lot easier that way.
That would be
You
Let-
can't
half
do it.
my business going in the fall.
You can't do that on the one-way streets in Providence, there, Alex.
I don't
Yeah.
go into Providence.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
bet.
going into Providence trying to get into my shop today because there's two houses on the road. One of them was having a retirement party, and I said to Melanie, I'm like, I gotta call my landlord and try to get down to my shop. I can't get through here. I got an 8.5 by 25 foot enclosed trailer. That thing's, you need some room. But
Oh
yeah, for us, if we had the city coming and picking it up, I mean, I would have to sell off my leaf vacs because that I make more money off of that than I do during fall cleanups. Just
See now,
stop
but a
call-
leaf
like,
vac would come in handy for us in the spring though. See, so because literally,
you think so until it starts blowing the thatch and it just
Mhm.
makes a disaster. We don't even use ours in the spring whatsoever unless it's like, we grab the new property and they never got a fall cleanup, then we'll break it out. But other than that, it just throws too much dust, I found.
figures.
Yeah,
But
One Love is saying he also has a city pickup as well. I'm curious to see people that are on the chat or seeing this later on. Make sure you comment
Yeah.
what your situation is when it comes to leaf cleanups.
And do you
Yeah,
maybe not you guys, but does anybody enjoy doing just pile picking up? Like during the fall, sometimes we'll designate 2 days to send in one truck with the leaf vacuum to just go and work for other companies. And they'll just pile it up by the road. We'll come in, vacuum it up. Then they do a small house. We go there, vacuum that one up, and just keep going. And
That'd be
that
nice.
keeps two guys
That's a good
busy
idea.
for a whole entire day. Well, if I don't need 6 guys on a cleanup, I can send 2 off for the day. Just go vacuum up leaves, and the most we
Yeah,
ever did
one-
was 16 loads in one day.
So how do you advertise that? Is it just based off the networking that you have with the relationship with some of
post
the other
that-
businesses? Or?
I usually post it on the Facebook, Instagram, and then a lot of the guys that like work around my area know that we have a massive leaf vacuum and I have the trucks with the big boxes and whatnot. So they'll end up calling me or people will see me. I refer to it as you rake it, we take it. So it's kind of just
Interesting.
put it by the road, and as long as I can get it with the hose or I can back up to it, I'll get it. My only rule is I won't drive across the lawn.
Yeah.
We tried that one time and I broke a septic cover because the guy put it on top of the septic tank. And I said, "You don't have a septic here?" No, I'm on sewer. Well, he didn't realize it was actually a cesspool that had been abandoned. I backed in and the tire went down and I'm like, "Oh boy, what happened here?" So
No, Nick, I don't use gel. Nick says I use
Nick's
gel.
definitely in
and
the
then,
chat.
yeah, he likes to get in here. And I don't use gel, Nick. Sorry, it's wax. Okay, it's beeswax.
Pomade.
Yeah.
Pomade.
Well, Alex, I want to thank you for being on. This was a great live stream. Again, Nick's always late for the thing. So, Nick, this is Alex from A. Carey Landscape in Rhode Island. He's one of 12 companies in Rhode Island. So, just
1,200.
If you move to Rhode Island, he'll service your yard. There's only 100 houses there, so it's the smallest state in the world. So thank you guys for listening. Comment. Yeah, we'd like to hear what you guys do for leads, what you guys do for marketing. Comment. Let us know what you guys do. Keep watching us. We'll be back next week for another live one. Maybe we'll have another person on next week. Maybe Josh will get his cable fixed. I mean, he got knocked off again, so probably his cable went out. So keep listening to us. Landscaping to the Point. Thank you, Josh, Jensen, Alex. Thank you guys for being on, and have a good night, guys. Later, all.